This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1971. 10 Ways to Reduce Your Toxic Exposure, Part 2, by Melani Schweder of abrighterwild.com. And I'm your narrator, Dr. Neil. Hello, happy Thursday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I simply read to you from the best health and fitness blogs for free. I cover fitness, nutrition, stress management, weight management, and lots more, just like an audiobook. Today's post is part 2 from yesterday. So if you're new here or skipping around, I'd recommend listening to yesterday's episode first. That was episode 1970. But if you're all caught up, let's jump right in and hear part 2 and continue optimizing your life. 10 Ways to Reduce Your Toxic Exposure, Part 2, by Melani Schweder of abrighterwild.com. 3. Buy more loose, organic foods. What you put in your body is vitally important, especially if you deal with any kind of chronic illness. So, take a look at your food. Try to choose foods that aren't wrapped in tons of plastic or come in cans, as packaging can expose your foods to chemicals. Also, if your budget allows, reach for organic produce whenever possible to cut down on your pesticide intake. If you can't eat 100% organic, I certainly don't, check out the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 from the environmentalworkinggroup.org or EWG.org. 4. Ditch the air fresheners. All those things we use to make our homes and cars smell nice are actually filled with compounds that are linked to cancer and respiratory disease. Unless something says that it's scented with only 100% of some natural product, it's likely going to contain artificial fragrances and perfumes. Swap out your Febreze, candles, and little car trees for alternatives. 5. Try some new cosmetics. It has been estimated that the average woman puts over 1,500 different chemicals on her body each day, and many of them come from cosmetic and beauty products. Take a look at the Environmental Working Group's Guide to Safe Cosmetics, research some alternatives, or shop at your local natural food store for makeup, skincare, and more. And men, whether you wear makeup or not, this applies to you too. 6. Put down the drugs. While it's not always the first thing that comes to mind when someone says environmental toxin, drugs and other harmful substances deserve a place on the list. If you are smoking, quit. If you're drinking to excess or using another illicit substance, especially from an unknown supplier, it's time to get some help so you can stop. 7. Refresh your laundry routine. Your clothes and sheets come in contact with your skin for many hours each and every day and night. So, what you wash with makes a difference. Look for safe, non-toxic laundry detergent or make your own and ditch the unnecessary scent boosters and other perfumes. Get rid of your chemical-coated dryer sheets and consider using wool dryer balls. 8. Throw out the non-stick cookware. Teflon and other non-stick coatings have already been associated with certain diseases, so I'm always surprised at how popular non-stick cookware still is. Thankfully, there are alternatives. Get rid of your non-stick pots and pans and look for safer cooking supplies. My favorites are ceramic, glass, stainless steel, and cast iron. There are many silicone options too, but the jury is still out on whether exposing this to high heat is safe, so use caution with these. 9. Reevaluate your medicine cabinet. Too often, when we're feeling sick or in pain, we reach for cheap, convenient, conventional medications to help. And while these can be nice for the reasons just mentioned, they can also come with a whole host of nasty ingredients. Artificial dyes, flavorings, sweeteners, and toxic coatings are in many well-known over-the-counter medications. Consider trying natural or herbal remedies instead, with ingredients you can pronounce, and no wild colors or flavors. Bright blue cough syrup probably isn't a good idea. And 10. Take your shoes off. Most of us wear our shoes in and out of the home. I'm definitely guilty of this, but it's actually a seriously bad idea for our health. Think of all the things you step on while you're out and about, and how many chemicals, bacteria, molds, and other nasties you're tracking in. These things can get spread throughout your home pretty easily, and aerosolized every time you sweep or vacuum. Designate a shoe area near the entrance to corral the toxins. When you want to recover your health or prevent yourself from getting sick, it's important to remember that you have more power than you realize. You are in charge of what items you allow into your home, into your body, onto your skin, and just a few small changes can make a big difference. These 10 ideas can get you on the road to feeling better and regaining control over the toxins in your environment. My rule of thumb for just about everything, but certainly when it comes to my food and products I use, is to keep it simple. The more ingredients, additives, dyes, flavorings, coatings, and unpronounceable chemicals something has in it, the more likely it is to be toxic. Choosing simple, handmade, or unprocessed and packaged-free items is a great habit to get into. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled 10 Ways to Reduce Your Toxic Exposure by Melani Schweder of abrighterwild.com. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. In my commentary on yesterday's episode, I talked about how the European Union has banned many toxic substances that are still available here in the US. So, whenever there are conflicting data about the safety of some chemical or product, I always look to see what Europe is doing. As I said yesterday, the way things work in the US is this. A product is determined to be safe until proven otherwise. In Europe, it's the opposite. A product is determined to be unsafe until proven it is safe. So, if Europe has banned a product or a chemical, it's probably for a good reason. And yesterday, I gave the example of carrageenan and how it's banned in Europe, but still used in many products here in the US. Today's author, Melani, shared that she threw out all of her non-stick cookware, the stuff that's made of Teflon. I'll be honest with you, I did the same thing a couple of years ago. This was because back in 2020, the European Union concluded that Teflon was not safe and banned it. So, if you're able, consider getting rid of that non-stick cookware and replace them with stainless steel and glass. And in fact, on tomorrow's Q&A episode, I'm going to go into even more detail about all of this stuff. So that will do it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening every day. I hope you're having a great week. And as I just mentioned, I'll see you here tomorrow for the Friday Q&A, where your optimal life awaits.